And we now go live to speak to Alan Martin at Wembley Stadium. He's with Jimmy Gymnaps. Alan, commiserations. You started so well in that game and it looked as though it may have been your day after what's been a disappointing season, but in the end it was the same old defensive frailties in the end. Perhaps the youth of the German Beershot side against your ageing, the likes of Materazzi, Belletti in defence. It's just not been your day.
No, I mean, they seemed to handle the duration of the game a lot better than we did. A bit of fatigue towards the end. We had a very experienced side. I'd like to think that a lot of our players know what they're doing. It was just a matter of stamina. I feel like they outstripped us for pace down the wings and ran us ragged a few times, and that took the wind right out of our sails. I mean, as you say, we got a really good start. I thought that we were possibly the better side in the first half, but definitely lost out in the second half, and I think fitness might have been to blame, perhaps lack of match time as well. We might need to look into possibly rotating the squad a little bit more during the season to sort that out.
Well, a lot of these players, like John Obi Mikel, Arshavin, Dawson, they're used to playing first team football. Has it been a bit of a culture shock and perhaps difficult to get back into their stride, not getting a game as often this season?
Well, they know that the places that they play in are up for grabs if they play well in training and if they impress in competitions like this. I think Mikel did quite well today. I mean, he found himself a wee bit out of his comfort zone a few times, up in a bit more of the attacking third of the pitch. But I mean, it shows that he's keen and he's eager. He's trying to get the goals, but perhaps that sacrificed a little bit of his defensive duties today. But I mean, these players, they're used to playing first team football, and they're professionals. I mean, I expect them to be up for competition for all positions, and I expect our first team as well, or what's generally considered our first team, to be exactly the same, and try and keep their spots as best they can in training.
What did you make of Jack Wilshere today? There was some talk that perhaps he'd moved to Alemannia too soon from Arsenal, where he was playing very well in Div B. He's almost slipped under the radar in today's game.
Yeah, in previous games, especially in this competition, he's been one of our best players, which is exceptional for a man of his age, and he's such a hot prospect for the future. Today was a bit quiet. Perhaps he was a little bit daunted by the scale of the event. I mean, cup final and everything. It's maybe not something he's so used to, and being so young. But I mean, I think the experience was vital for him. I think he'll only get better from it. But I mean, on the day, it was a bit quiet. I wouldn't go and say anything bad about his performance. But it was a shame that he couldn't get his impact on the game like he has done previously.
And what about this crop of Alemannia players? Of course, many people were saying that today was a massive game for the club and for yourself. What was it like relying on your almost second string of players to, appease the comments that are coming in and the Alemannia fans who are striving for a trophy?
I'm proud of the squad that we've got in general. It's not just a case of first team, second team. I mean, you'll find that a lot from our wheelings and dealings in the transfer window. We've not just strengthened our first team and ignored our second team completely. I mean, we've tried to do our best for the second team as well, fill in gaps where possible, build a squad there that we can use in this competition. I mean, I had every faith in them today, but coming up against second string Beershot side is no easy task. I mean, they've got an excellent squad. McTague's done very well to balance out their players as well, and they've got a lot of good prospects themselves. So, I mean, I don't think it's anything to blame the players on. I think it was just one of those things. You're up against a side that's come out better in the day. You can't win them all, and yeah, we'll hold our hands up and say that the better side overall today probably won the game.
You've mentioned you can't blame the players. There would surely be a lot of people looking for someone to blame here. Is that a case of yourself, the directors of the wrong players came in here, and where do you go now with this team? Do you think that you'll hold on to your best players? Of course, you're not going to be playing in Europe this year. Where can you go next season? What's your plan?
Well, I don't think it's a case of really finding. I mean, we do have a very devoted set of fans, and they're very vocal with their opinions, and yeah, they're the Alemanniacs, you know.
They certainly are.
Yeah, but I think it's important to say that there isn't necessarily a case for blame for this competition or for the season as a whole. And that's one cup final, two cup semi-finals. That's it's not a disrespectful position either. And yes, we're not going to be in Europe, but we finished 5th, 1 point behind 4th place, 2 points behind 3rd place. It just goes to show how close it was. Again, I don't think there's any shame in that. They were just pipped to the post in the last couple of games of the season. It's not gone our way, but it could have been extremely different, you know, with one other win at some point throughout the season. That could have been us in 3rd place. So as close as it has been, I mean, we have lost out, but we have to appreciate that it was just one of those close seasons, and the Master League's always getting better. Teams are getting, they're improving year by year. I mean, we saw Estac just shooting right up to the top 3. So, you know, you can't rule anyone out of this competition. People looking for someone to blame, I tell them to just go look somewhere else, because I'm very proud of what we've achieved this season, despite the fact that it looks like a disappointing season. I'm proud of the players, and I think as a club that we've done really well. We've done a lot better than other clubs in the Master League, and I know people have high expectations of ourselves, but you know, it's something that we'll look to next season to improve again.
Alright, Alan, well, great speech there, well done, and unlucky today.
Thanks.